Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into an absolute classic, Sifaat Al-Safwa by Imam Ibn al-Jawzi. Now, this isn't just some dusty old book of biographies. Think of it more like a roadmap, a collection of lives that point the way to a higher purpose. It really makes you stop and ask yourself, what am I truly living for? So, what does a life lived for the highest purpose actually look like? It's a huge question, right? How do you break out of the day-to-day grind and chase something bigger? Well, what's so incredible about the book we're looking at today is that it doesn't just ask the question, it answers it. And not with some vague philosophy, but with hundreds of real, tangible, human examples. Okay, so let's get into it. The title, Sifaat Al-Safwa, translates to the attribute of the elite. And Ibn al-Jawzi's goal here wasn't just to write history. No, he was crafting a mirror, a guide. He wanted to show us, through these incredible lives, what the qualities of the truly elite, the best of the best, actually are. He's showing us what a purpose-driven life looks like on the ground, in the real world. So where do we even begin? Well, the foundation for so many of these incredible figures was this profound level of worship and asceticism. We're talking about an absolute, unshakable focus on their connection with God and a real detachment from the temporary stuff of this world. Let's look at a few examples. First up, we meet Mu'adha al-Adawiyya. For her, nighttime wasn't for sleeping. It was a golden opportunity. The book says she would literally bring the night to life with her prayers, just refusing to give in to sleep. But why? What drove that level of dedication? Well, this quote right here tells you everything you need to know about her mindset. "Oh, my soul, sleep is ahead of you." For her, this life was the time for action, for striving. The real rest, or, the real regret, that was all coming later. It was this incredible sense of urgency, this deep awareness of the hereafter, that fueled every bit of her devotion. And this wasn't just a one-off thing. Take a look at Mansur ibn Zadhan. For 20 years, that's 2 decades, he would pray the dawn prayer using the same ablution from the evening prayer. Just think about that. It means he spent the entire night in a state of worship, never breaking his state of ritual purity. This testimony from someone who knew him just sums it up perfectly. If Mansur ibn Zadhan were told that the angel of death was at the door, he would have no extra deed to do. I mean, wow. In other words, his entire life was his preparation. He was already living at peak spiritual effort. There was nothing left to cram in at the last minute. He was just always ready. Now, this intense inner state of devotion, it naturally overflowed into this incredible, profound wisdom that you could see on the outside. So let's take a look at how their words became just as powerful as their deeds. And here we have this foundational piece of wisdom from Ali ibn Abi Talib. Hearts are vessels, and the best of them is the one most aware of knowledge. This is so powerful. It reframes the heart not just as a place for feelings, but as a container, a vessel, designed to hold knowledge. The measure of a great heart, then, was its capacity for understanding. And the book is just packed with these timeless gems of wisdom. But you shouldn't just think of them as nice quotes. They're more like operating principles. I mean, when you truly get that deeds are judged by intentions, it completely changes how you approach everything you do. For these figures, these sayings were like the software running in the background, guiding every single decision they made. But for these elite individuals, faith wasn't just about private worship or speaking wise words. It had to be proven in the real world, through action, and that often demanded an incredible amount of courage and self-sacrifice. So picture this. It's the Battle of Badr. The small Muslim army is facing a much larger, better-equipped force. The Prophet Muhammad is consulting his companions, asking what they should do. It's an absolutely pivotal moment. And in that tense silence, al-Miqdad ibn al-Aswad stands up. And what he says next sets a whole new standard for loyalty. He says, "All messenger of God, we will not say as the children of Israel said to Moses, 'Go, you and your Lord, and fight. We are sitting right here.' Instead, he declares, 'We will fight on your right and on your left, before you and behind you.'" I mean, can you imagine? By contrasting their stance with the previous nations, he showed this absolute, rock-solid commitment. The accounts say the prophet's face just lit up with joy when he heard that. But courage isn't always about what happens on the battlefield, right? Sometimes it's this quiet, protective form of sacrifice. Look at the story of Abu Bakr during the migration. When they were hiding in a cave, he insisted on going in first, just to make sure it was safe for the prophet. He even tore pieces of his own clothing to plug up all the little holes in the cave wall. There was one last hole that he had to cover with his own heel. And while the prophet slept, something in that hole bit him, but he didn't even flinch because he didn't want to wake his companion. That quiet endurance, that incredible act of sacrifice, was answered with one of the most beautiful prayers. The prophet asked God to make Abu Bakr his companion in the highest level of paradise. Okay, so we've seen devotion, we've seen wisdom, we've seen courage, but what's the common thread here? What's the one thing that connects all of these different people from different times? Well, Ibn al-Jawzi makes it clear it all comes down to a fundamental shift in their focus. And it all boils down to this, a conscious choice about what truly matters. See, these individuals understood that this world is temporary, so they reoriented their hearts, their entire being, towards what is eternal. Their biggest concern, their main focus, their ultimate hope, it was all centered on the hereafter. And that right there is the real legacy of this book. That's why this matters so much. Sifaat Al-Safwa isn't just a collection of stories about people from long ago. It's a mirror. It's a mirror that reflects back to us the absolute peak of human potential. It's a source of inspiration that challenges us to aim higher in our own lives. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. From the profound night-long worship of Mu'adha to the unshakable courage of al-Miqdad, which one of these amazing attributes inspires you the most? Right here, right now, in your own life.